1, 2, 3, and then we're going to hop off, okay?
1, 2, 3.
At the other end of the country, the Francis family were in the same boat. Their wee girl Carmel wouldn't eat. Again, doctors couldn't find anything physically wrong with her, and they too were slaves to spew.
We always have a bowl we kind of code, myself and Amir call it as the VB, which is the vomiting bowl, and we would just keep it up there. As soon as she comes, like after 60 meals or something, she'd automatically cough up and she'd try to bring it up. And so I'd say, Amir, get the VB, and then she'd bring the vomiting bowl, and then we just make sure that she vomits into the bowl.
Carmel was fed 4 times a day and throughout the night with a tube into her tummy and hated it.
After some time, she really knew what I was going to do, and every time I set up the feed, she will run. She will run away and say, I don't want the feed. It's always around her, around the feeds, the whole day is managed. That's our daily routine.
There was no end in sight until John was on the internet and read about a clinic in Austria called GRAS, a program that could cure kids who wouldn't eat.
It was basically, the website talks about them doing this tube weaning process for almost like 15 plus years, and they have a 97% success rate. So I said, wow, they must be doing something really, really well. And I think, well, if you're not going anywhere down here, then why don't us give us a shot, at Graz?
They spent their house deposit and with the help of John's work scraped together $25,000 to get to Austria. But it wasn't a popular decision.
So what did the specialists back here say about you going to Graz?
Initially, I think there was a bit of hesitation because Carmel's weight wasn't up to the mark according to the growth charts. And the basic philosophy at Graz is basically to starve the kid in a controlled way. It's basically a kind of a shock treatment where we know that the kid is going to be starved, and it's a bit of tough love. And I don't think New Zealand was kind of ready for that, to be quite frank.
In the first week, Carmel's tube feeds were cut back. 5 days into the program, she was living on 200 mils of milk a day, but didn't realise what hunger was.
She started complaining in the night. She couldn't sleep because she was hungry. She used to get up and say, my stomach is paining.
I think you won. Very good. High five. Hi. You want more? Do you think you will win? No, I want to win.
Seen daily by 5 different therapists, in the second week, Carmel began drinking and for the first time ever, nibbled on a chip.
Oh, what's that?
A teddy bear.
Do you want to bite it? Yay, Carmel. Give me a high five.
Well, you must have just felt like going, hooray!
It was too much of it was too big a deal for us. But, initially when she started eating, we were not supposed to show any emotions. I just wanted to go and celebrate. But, we couldn't do that because we just wanted to, suppress our feelings, don't show too much of an emotion. We don't want to, celebrate because they said that eating is very normal.
After just 3 weeks, the tube came out of Carmel's tummy for good. She was finally eating. It had taken 2.5 years, but they were free.
Here's your lunchbox, Grace.
Back in Dunedin, and today Grace is at kindy, sitting with the others at morning tea, but of course not eating anything. You may not realise it, but eating helps to develop speech. And because Grace hasn't done any eating, at 5 years of age she has the development of a 3.5-year-old. She's going to school later this term, but staff will have to feed her like Pip does through her tube.
What are your thoughts about Grace's future?
Well, we keep getting told that, maybe one day, but it's been a long, been a long one day, I suppose.
Her to have independence.
Yeah. Yeah, it's knowing that she's, it's tough. Yeah, I'm not looking at him because it makes me cry. But
Sorry.
yeah, it is. It's been really tough, really tough.
You want a lot of lollies?
Because Grace needs constant care, Pip couldn't return to full-time work, so she does magic tricks and balloon making for children's parties.
Excellent.
Their last hope is the Austrian Graz clinic, but the couple can't afford it and Kiwi doctors aren't keen on the programme's controversial methods.
Actually, I've got it on my favourites in the computer and I just study up every so often, you know, I just re-see it again and I think, oh, it's the one thing that we haven't tried. And I've read about it and I know they use sort of like a starving, you know, with withholding, but it would be something that you'd want to do with the help of, you know, like a professional, because, man, something could go really wrong if you didn't have the right knowledge, and I don't think we're that skilled up to be able to try the program ourselves at home.
Can I help you?
And take some apples.
You want to take some apples? Which one?
For the Francis family, life is completely different. 10 months ago, buying lollies at a mall was unthinkable.
What would you say to parents out there who are in the same position as you were in?
I would, you know, from my heart, hope the best, because it is the worst. You know, it is one of the very difficult positions to be in, trying to do the best for your child. But hang in there. There is, if you really feel there is a solution, there is one. You know, there is. Sorry.
Do you need a wee break? You all right? Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, it's okay. Because, you know, if there is a solution, there is one, definitely. Because it is not the end of the world.